Shalom Israel. Real quick, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And there's no God beside them. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect. Now, I highly advise you brothers and sisters to watch this video entitled National Red Alert. We have an enemy inside, military assets moving, gas prices will explode. So without further ado, I'm gonna just play it.
All right, everybody, I've got some breaking news coming to you from what's actually happening across the world. When Russia first took Ukraine, I told you that it was going to happen because they were moving the assets. Right now, the United States military is moving our assets where? Over to the Middle East. You don't spend this kind of money and move this kind of material, this kind of personnel without a plan to use it. They are going to bomb the country of Iran with the help of Israel if there isn't some sort of breakthrough. Now, I expect that the administration right now, together with the Israeli cabinet, they don't think that there's going to be any grand breakthrough. They don't think there's going to be Iran coming to the table on this. There will be no new nuclear deal. Now, I'm getting ready for this in my own house because I know this is going to skyrocket gas prices and diesel prices. I know that every material that moves through the strait there is going to be affected. Now, here's what's really scaring me. Iran already said preemptive strike. They already had members of their military come out, discuss it with their government. This was classified at the time. It got out into the open through a leak. They said preemptive strikes on U.S. carriers, on U.S. bases in Middle Eastern countries, and on any U.S. asset that they have access to. The scary part there is we have cells inside the USA that were allowed through in an illegal immigration period. They're here without any record. No one's watching them. No one even knows who they are. We just saw, it's tax season. We just saw a bunch of different tax personnel come out and say, listen, these tax organizations are literally coaching the illegals on how to give them your tax money in returns. This was a whole scam that brought in people who hate the United States of America for the way that it is supposed to operate. They don't want to flourish here. They don't want to run businesses. They don't want any return to you and your family. They don't want your authority to keep them safe. They don't want anything except their own rule inside of your country. This was a takeover. This was a coup. It was a coup to take over the government through voting, and it was a coup to take over the United States of America through a massive amount of illegal immigration. The scariest part of it all is that countries who have beef with the United States government are inside, they have their assets inside of our nation. All across. So I don't care if you live in Tennessee, I don't care if you live in Idaho, Minnesota, California, Washington State, those assets are or have moved through, maybe even set up shop inside of your state. They go to your Walmart. They might even visit your church. This isn't like the old, the old days where you could kind of pick out and see different assets and be like, okay, you're probably a Russian op. You're probably an Iranian op. You're probably a Chinese op. No, this is an entire new world out there where they're so deeply into your environment that they're at your church, or maybe your mom's church, your family's church. They're maybe at the PTA meetings with you and your kids. These assets are deep inside of our country. Now, the KGB, of course, we know how they operate out of Russia. The KGB knows what's going on, and they have seeded their assets very deep into the U.S. government. We just saw Israel out there, and what were they doing? They were basically showcasing an Iranian asset that they pulled back over, got him home safe. He was so deep into Iranian government and military that it just throws for a loop the entire country there. So what's going to happen? Why are they moving their assets? And here's the breaking news bit of this. They're moving their assets because they plan to use them. And so you have maybe, I mean, by the time this video comes up and YouTube approves it, it might have already happened. Or, and more likely, we have weeks, maybe even days until something large takes place. Now, you know, we've got the tariffs that are right around the corner. We have Mexico saying the reciprocal tariffs are coming. You have Canada saying we're going to know in the next couple of days how bad Canada is going to react to this. Every bit of our world, the way we know it right now, is being thrown upside down. They call it Teotwalki, the end of the world, not in whole, but as you knew it. And for me, that started back in COVID, I guess. We had a pretty good...
Right, because even in Matthew 24, the disciples asked Yahushua, again, who the world really calls Christ, when shall be the end of this world and the beginning of it that followeth? That word world, not as the whole entire planet Earth, but this rulership. The end of this rulership will go out by bloodshed, as it came in by bloodshed. All right, and the Lord has a controversy against Esau, Edom.
We had a pretty good bead on how the world was going to react. Sure, we had North Korea. Sure, we had Russia and China, but we had a pretty good understanding. We knew their game. And then COVID threw the entire game into a mix. Now, I don't know if artificial intelligence is already so deeply into U.S. military, U.S. government, and governments around the world that we're basically running one of the largest campaigns of artificial intelligence. Like maybe we're all just part of what they say has to happen in our country or our world. I have no idea. But I do know a couple of things, and these are immutable. That means they can't be changed. 1,000% fact. If you go to the store and buy something today and put it inside of your house, you have that asset. Now, for me, I can't afford gold. I'm not going out there and buying my 6th car in cash like Donald Trump just kind of talked about recently. No, for me, I'm going to get rice. I'm going to get sugar and flour. I need to feed my family when I can't get to the grocery store. I need to have canned fruits and vegetables when I cannot get them from a local market. Maybe you don't have a big old 1-acre garden in your backyard, and maybe the couple of tomatoes that you're growing are only going to get you so far. So what do you need? Well, you need a couple of things. You need the food that you can survive off of for months. Don't listen to anybody that tells you 72 hours is all you need, because that's like an American, a very Americanized false safety belt. You put it on, you don't think about
And a lot about to come down the pipe, the likes of which, you know, these people are not ready for. You know, these people are ready for vacation, summer break. Nobody's looking for some shit to happen, and that's the problem. But as the scriptures tell us, this is Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 25. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. You know? What I see in all this fiasco that's getting ready to come is the persecution of the prophets, and then the implementation of, you know, a system to where they can tell who's who, because right now you can't. As he just mentioned, you know, there's various foreign assets that look like modern everyday citizens, you know, as this place is also a melting pot. So let me grab this, Matthew 24 and 6. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these must come to pass. but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right? Because one brings the other, especially with all this technology that these nations have. They have the technology to orchestrate pestilences, famines, and earthquakes. You know, which earthquakes brings famines, all right, and destruction of infrastructure, which brings pestilences. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And, you know, as I was meditating upon this lesson through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I was thinking on how Yahushai, in the time of his persecution, he was persecuted with guys who actually did wrong things. So it's no difference, you know, when it comes to us. You're going to have guys, you know, who really don't give a fuck, you know. People from these other nations who really hate America, who's just here to do a job, to turn this place upside down. And as they may seem like nice, benevolent people, inwardly, you know, they're just waiting for the green light. And we, on the opposite, you know, speak on bad to come, but we don't we are and we do not. I'm sorry, we are not and we are physically not doing anything. We're just speaking on what they're going to do. You know, but the world can't tell the difference, of course. But yeah. You know, they're gonna do bullshit and we're gonna get persecuted. As a matter of fact, it says in John 16, St. John 16, and these things will they do unto you. Let me start at 2. They shall put you out of the synagogues, yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. You know? Because our people already cast us off as evil. Meanwhile, that's what they are. But this is meant to be a real quick hit. Yeah, check that video out. I mean, I played a good portion of it. The part I found interesting. But yeah, some shit's about to hit the fan. Alright, and the Lord's words sent forth through the prophets, the true prophets, are at this point in time showing themselves heavily. You know? So hey man, stay prayed up, because shit's about to get real. Shalom.